Monday, 25th of September 2023. After the destruction of the headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian Federation, a lull in the enemy's naval activity was observed. According to the updated information from the SSO, 34 officers were killed as a result of the Crab Trap operation last weekend. Among them, the commander of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian Federation, Viktor Sokolov. Another 105 occupiers were wounded. Russian forces responded with attacks on the port infrastructure. The Izmail district in Odessa was hit with a number of buildings and vehicles being destroyed. On the contrary, Ukrainian forces performed a successful operation behind the enemy's front lines. The occupied Sorokino in the Lugansk region faced a powerful explosion at the ammunition depot. Since the start of the war against Ukraine in 2014, Russia has used that depot as a military base and logistics hub. Zaporizhzhia region continues to be the main military target of Ukrainian forces. Continuous attacks around Verbov led to Russian command seeking to stop the offensive of the Ukrainian army in the Zaporizhzhia region at any cost. Russian forces tried to slow down the advance of the ZSU in the hope that it would not break through the second line of defense before the weather conditions worsened. However, in the western and southwestern sectors near Verbov, Ukrainian forces advanced, passing the second line of defense and continuing to cover the village. In the northern sector, there was progress towards Novofedorivka. In the northern and northeastern sectors of Novoprokopivka, similarly, there is an advance of ZSU and coverage of the village along the left flank. If Russian forces want to stop further progression, they desperately need additional soldiers to be sent to the Verbov section. This, however, put Russian command in front of a difficult decision. By taking soldiers from other sections, they can create a precedent for the launch of new offensives where this is not expected. At the same time, without supplying the Zaporizhzhia region with the required amount of soldiers, their second line of defense will collapse miserably in October and pull the third line along with it. Tuesday, 26th of September, 2023. Trying to save themselves from deadly Ukrainian drones around Bakhmut, the Russian military began using homemade anti-drone nets along the road. The effectiveness of such an invention is questionable, with a video of a Ukrainian operator of a kamikaze drone masterfully flying around the so-called anti-drone nets. The defense forces, thanks to the guidance of the SBU, fired from HIMARS at the command post of Russian officers of the 24th Motorized Rifle Regiment in the Kherson region. 8 officers were reported to be eliminated. The fire at the headquarters was directed using the Ukrainian Leleka UAV. Wednesday, 27th of September, 2023. In the US budget, more than $6 billion was additionally allocated to support Ukraine. In particular, $4.5 billion for defense expenditures and $1.5 billion for economic support. On the other side, Russia continued expanding its relationship with North Korea, specifically negotiating about the supply of military equipment. There is a potential transfer of weapons from North Korea to Russia, as well as the provision of technology by Russia to North Korea. On the front line, Russian forces continued to severely suffer from Ukrainian FPV drones, with an overwhelming amount of live footage appearing during this week. FPV stands for first-person view, and it means you can see what the drone sees in real time thanks to an integrated video camera. This means you can fly the drone in a bird's-eye view, giving an immersive flying experience. This proves to be an extremely effective and deadly tool in the arms of Ukrainian forces. Thursday, 28th of September 2023. Defense ministers of Great Britain and France, as well as Secretary General Stoltenberg, arrived in Kyiv. The result of the meeting was a new contract with NATO for the supply of ammunition to Ukraine for €2.4 billion. Ukrainian armed forces continued fortifying their positions at the border near Verbova in Zaporizhzhia. The Russian military is on the defensive. Sometimes they try to distract Ukrainian forces with forays of quite small groups, usually without equipment, with the objective of repulsing their positions with the main force. The results are devastating for the Russian side, with ZSU being able to withstand all of the offensive attempts. This week was also marked by yet another major Russian strike. Aerial bombs were dropped on the Avdiivka chemical plant in the Donetsk region. This is Europe's largest coke chemical enterprise, and the assault will have devastating environmental effects. The news also came from the Bakhmut direction. A new video was published showcasing Ukrainian forces engaging in close combat with Russian units while trying to liberate Andriivka. In the video, the 3rd Assault Brigade is advancing deeper into the destroyed village. Russian forces are seen hiding in the ruins of a number of houses as close as 100 meters from the positions of Ukrainian soldiers. Despite the extreme danger, Ukrainian troops kept moving forward, clearing house after house, and eventually eliminated the enemy. Friday, 29th of September, 2023, Charles Brown has officially assumed the post of Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the U.S. Army, replacing Mark Milley. According to various sources, Brown is in favor of increasing and intensifying aid to Ukraine. Friday was marked with a successful assault on an electric substation in the Kursk region of the Russian Federation. The Special Service released a video of the moment of the attack on the energy facility. This yet again proves the effectiveness of Ukrainian air units who have managed to strike a number of targets deep behind the front line. Ukrainian troops continued to move forward in the direction of Zaporizhzhia region. They managed to reach the line of trenches west of Verbova and make a breakthrough on the Robotino-Verbove line. The liberation of Verbove will open potential several directions at once. The liberation of another crucial village, Novoprokopivka, will lead to Russian forces being forced to withdraw as far back as Tokmak. This continues to remain the main objective of Ukrainian command, with the future looking promising, given the fact that Russia lacks the needed resources in that section to stop Ukrainian progression. Trying to replenish its units, the Russian government announced details about the semi-annual conscription cycle, set to begin on October 1st in all of Russia. Vladimir Putin signed a decree on September 29th stating that the Russian military will conscript 130,000 personnel from October to December 2023. The full conscription cycle will take place in all entities of the Russian Federation, including in occupied territories in Ukraine. Saturday, 30th of September, 2023. Drone manufacturer Bayraktar announced a further investment of $100 million in Ukraine. The company mentioned 3 main objectives: factory, service center, and main office. Construction has already started, and it will take approximately 1.5 years to complete. This is a huge step forward for Ukraine on the path of building up its military industry. In addition, the results came from the first International Defense Industries Forum. Ukraine signed 20 documents with foreign partners. These are agreements and memorandums on the manufacture of drones and the repair and production of armored vehicles and ammunition. Cooperation formats include joint production, exchange of technologies, and supply of components. In conclusion, as a result of this week, Ukrainian forces have eliminated 470 personnel, 4 tanks, 12 APCs, 38 artillery systems, 2 MLRS, 15 UAVs of operational tactical level, and 18 fuel tanks.